Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Throne Podcast. You are now watching the Throne. Don't let me get in my zone. I'm just getting over being sick, so I can't rap. I can't. I'm sorry. And I'm in a new room. I they kicked me out of my old one, so I'm on a laptop. That's why the setup looks so different. But of course, we got one of the co-owners as well today, Corbin. What's up, Corbin?
What's
We'll have him
up?
introduce himself in a second. And then we got our guest, Kellen, dude, one of our awesome content creators. What's going on, Kellen? How's your day?
I'm doing great. Wednesday's been not too bad. Beautiful weather here. Had some good chicken sandwiches earlier. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
Oh, the chicky
Oh, nice.
simmies you got, dude.
Yeah.
That's what matters, man.
Yes,
Some chicky
sir.
sims. But yeah, I'm Goldie. I'm your host today. Usual host for not usual host for the throne, but usually you see me around. You see me around. But I'll have Corbin introduce himself, and then we'll get right into Kellen, man. We'll get right into
Yeah.
Kellen. Go ahead, Corbin.
I mean, not too much. I'm Corbin or Corey. Probably just Corey. And yeah, I'm just the co-owner, and I do stuff behind the scenes usually. So sometimes you see my pretty face. Sometimes, but
Not enough.
not. Yeah.
Yeah, not enough, man.
Stop it.
Not
I'm
enough.
blushing. I'm blushing. Stop it.
But Kellen, our guest star, how you doing, man? What's tell us a little bit about yourself.
So yeah, my name's Kellen. I go by KellanTK on Twitch and all the socials. I went to school for English and history. I was going to become an education teacher, but with COVID and all of that, decided to go a different route, and I started streaming a little bit, and it's turned out to be a fantastic decision. I've enjoyed every single stream. Life's been very good. So that's my journey as of late.
That's good. That's good. Dude, I didn't even know you wanted to be a teacher. I actually went to school for education too, so I like that.
Really?
I like that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna be elementary education for a little bit, and then I jumped into wanting to be a history teacher in high school for high school kids. So I'm actually I never knew that about you. Now that I know that,
Yeah,
see, the
no.
throne just brings it
There
out.
you
The
go.
throne
Yeah,
just
you
brings
learn
out the
something new every
secrets.
day.
Hey,
I
education.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
true,
went to
true.
part of the reason why I was so excited when I first joined TN is I went to school in the University of Pittsburgh. So I was like, oh, like
Oh
these guys
yeah,
are out in the
Pitt.
Berg. I love the 412, and part of the Pittsburgh graduate school program for their education school was just like basically segueing you from undergrad just right into the grad school. Like if you went to Pitt, they're like, yeah, you'll probably just get in. So that's part of the reason why
Yeah,
I went to Pitt was for that education. And yeah, I was looking at being a history high school teacher or English.
heck
So
yeah.
either one. Yeah, I can
Um,
definitely relate some positive vibes there.
Yeah, I mean, we
Berg.
hey, that the Berg, man, that's where it's at, dude. We
Yeah,
get
I'm
we
not
get a
wearing
lot
one of
of
my
people that like
412 suits. I have so
that.
many I have so many free T-shirts that I got over the years. Like I just wear them to the gym all the time, so they're all sweaty and gross and
Yeah.
ball over there. Actually, was supposed to do some laundry today, so maybe I'll do that after this. But yeah, this is one of my last clean shirts. We made it. We
Hey,
made it to that point.
sometimes you just gotta be like that. You gotta make it to that point where you got one left, and then you're like, yeah, I think it's
I
time. I
probably do
think
some
it's time to
laundry.
do the
Be
laundry.
responsible, you know.
Oh yeah, 100%. But yeah, so one of the questions I had actually for you was, where did you get the name Kellen TK? Because I never knew what TK meant. I never really wanted to ask until like we officially had the podcast. I wasn't going to just ask you and then be the only one that knew. Yeah, no, I wanted to ask you officially through the podcast. So where did you get your name from, and what made you start streaming?
Well, my name's Kellen, so I just I always wanted to have like a sort of like a simple tag, and I was just trying to make Kellen work, and I was just eventually I realized like I can't just do Kellen, so I gotta like add
Mhm.
something to it, and I was just thinking about like different letter combinations, but when I was in college, I was in a fraternity, Alpha Tau Omega, and I would play like Fortnite and stuff with like the brothers, but I was just better than a lot of them. They didn't game as much. I was the resident gamer. So like
Yeah.
whenever we had a party or something, and then we head home, we'd be like, "Oh, hop on four, like let's get some dubs." And they'd be like, "Oh, the king is here, the king." And I'd just come in, and I'd get like 25 kills, and we'd get like 4 dubs in a row, and it'd be a good time. So the TK was the king for a while, and that you go to my channel, we have like the sub badges that are the crowns. It kind of
Yeah.
plays into the king aspect
That's
of it.
awesome.
But I mean, it's
I
evolved
love
into a
that.
lot
I
of things
love
like
that.
the kid, you know, the
Yep.
there's a lot of stuff that you could probably use, but it's kind of
I
just
mean, that's a mango reference. I understand.
yeah,
That.
yeah, exactly,
Some people
exactly.
might
So there's a
not.
lot of stuff
Some
out there.
people
You
might
know, I've
not.
been playing a lot of Melee, so people have made that reference too. And you know, I kind of just let people run with it. It's sort of just like choose your own adventure. It means whatever it means to you, but that was my backstory behind it. That's a lot of the reasoning why I went with TK.
I like that. I like that a lot. That's see, that's something that you just don't, just think about. It's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I never knew that, and now that I know that, it suits perfectly for TN. Like you joining TN later down the road is like, because we emphasize our stuff on like, king, crown, medieval
Yeah,
stuff. So
exactly.
like
Yeah.
it like fell in place perfectly. So
Nope.
that's
The right
awesome.
fit.
That's awesome. Right. So what got you into streaming? Because like you said, you were a gamer, you liked playing video games and stuff like that in college and all that. But what really was like, oh yeah, like I want to start streaming, I want to start playing games in front of people. That's always like one of my big questions because it really is interesting to see the build up of like where people begin.
Well, I probably started watching Twitch when I was in high school, you know, like my freshman year. And do you guys know a game
Mhm.
called Destiny? Ever heard of Destiny?
Yeah,
Yes.
Destiny's.
Yeah.
I
Big.
love Destiny. Yep.
Yeah, so
When it
I
first
was
came out.
yeah, when it first came out, I was really big into Destiny, and I was just a PvP warrior. You know, I'd run around with a shotgun, the Fellwinter's Lie, if anyone remembers, and I would just have myself a time. And eventually, the Trials of Osiris game mode came out, and you know, I was watching all the streamers play it, and I ran into some guys in a match, and they're like, "Oh, like you should stream your matches. Like you should like go on Twitch and like do trials carries is what people would call them, where you would just help people get through the trials. Because for those who don't know what Trials of Osiris is in Destiny, well, bigger picture, Destiny is a first-person shooter that has like PvE, PvP aspects. You choose like different subclasses. It's a fun game, and you know it's been around for a while now. But in PvP, they had end game content that was called Trials of Osiris, and it was basically just like 3v3 elimination, and whoever got the first 5 rounds killing the enemy team, you would win. And you had to do that 7 times in a row just to get like the end game rewards. And that's what the trials carries was. You would help people get those 7 dubs. And
Mhm.
that's when I first started streaming. I probably streamed for a few months in high school doing trials carries. And that was actually really cool because I had a lot of like interesting people, like bigger content creators, because I would just be playing Trials of Osiris. And there's one guy like Real Crafty. I remember this so vividly. I was doing a double carry, which means I had 2 people that needed to like be carried to the end. And this Real Crafty guy who was like, if you wanted a trials carry, you went into his channel with 10,000 other people, and you were all spamming raffle trying to get in with this.
Yeah.
And he was doing a double carries as well. And I ran to his match when we were both streaming. And it went last round, like just him and I going at it, like round 10. And it was just overtime, 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 overtime. And I was playing something called a Titan. It's one of the subclasses with my shotgun. And the Titan had a thing called a shoulder charge, which was basically a running melee. So you could just sprint at people and just press melee from a large distance, and you just one-shot them. And with a shotgun, you can imagine the combination of just like
Yeah.
charging in there, killing one guy, shooting the other. It was a lot to deal with. And the chat did not like me. The chat thought I was a loser. The chat thought I played they called it an ape, you know, a mindless guy just running around aping with a shotgun. And I remember going into his stream and I was like, yo, like GG's, like all that. And he's like, guys, be nice to him. Like, he was good. Like, he made me work for it. So it was connections like that, and you know, just moments where I was like, I like this, I really do. But college came around, and you know, I joined a fraternity. I was doing a lot more social stuff. I was in the dorm, so streaming didn't really make sense. And then COVID happened. I was like, okay, like now
Yeah.
we're kind of back in the spot again, where I'm not really going out. So I was like, screw it, you know, I'm playing. I started learning Melee for a little bit at that point. I was doing a little bit of Pokemon, Mario Maker 2, and it just started out with like old Destiny friends. Some friends from college would just come into the stream and I talk to them kind of just like this, you know, 1, 2 people, and we'd just hanging out talking. And I was streaming Mario Maker 2. It was like the third day I'd ever like consistently streamed. And this was in college now. And the biggest Mario Maker 2 content creator that was live at the time rated me. You know, it was just like 2 people. Like,
Awesome.
if I turned all these lights off, it was like over like this little laptop, and like I had my Switch on like a tiny TV, and like I had like chat open on my phone, and I didn't even know like what a raid was, because when I streamed in high school, it was like 6, 7 years ago. So like there was no affiliate, there was nothing like this. It was just you got partnered or you did it. and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, what's going on? And I thought I got hacked or something. And then they're like, oh, Pango raid. And I was like, what's going on? And one of my friends in the chat was like, oh, dude, you just got raided by 1,000 people. And I was like, what? So I streamed for like 13 hours until 7 o'clock in the morning the next day because I was like, this is awesome. I had 500 people, and that was it. I was sold after that. I was like, I love this, and
That's awesome.
I've streamed consistently ever since.
That's awesome. I love hearing stories like that, to be honest. That's sick. I didn't even know about that either. So it's been like a wild journey with you and raids, huh? I mean, you literally signed a TN and then like 2 weeks later, Axe, like one
Axe
of the
pulled through. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, like holy crap! Like I'm such a big fan of Axe and like None and all them, and I was like freaking out. I was fanboying. It wasn't even me getting raided or anything. I was just fanboying in the background.
At this point, I've gotten very used to the raids, and like I'll be playing something and I'll see it. I'm like, oh, thank you, so and so, and like I just read the name just to like establish like, hey, I recognize this and I appreciate it. But I was still like on autopilot, and I was playing the game, and I was like, oh, thank you, AZ Axe for the raid. And I was like, wait, Axe? Like I'm playing Melee. Like, that might be like, Axe. And I looked at chat, and it was like actual raid. I was like, holy shit, this is actually really cool. And I've always been
awesome.
I've always been like the low tier warriors in some fighting games, like picking bad characters and trying to do well with them intentionally. So him being a Pikachu main, I've always had a respect for that because there are other characters that are far more dominant, but he makes it work. So it was very cool to have something like that.
No, he does make him. We'll get into the Smash and stuff, but I love him playing Pikachu because Pikachu is very mid tier, if anything, compared to all the other characters. But like we'll get into like the Smash stuff and all that, but I just wanted to get a backstory on how you started up and everything. I love hearing about those stories, to be honest. But yeah, no. So you stream a plethora of games. You stream a lot of Twitch, or not Twitch, Switch games. You do stream a lot of Twitch, yes. You do a lot of Switch games. You do a lot of Overwatch. I see you have a plethora and a big area of games that you like to play. What is like your favorite game to stream? And then maybe we'll even get into like what's your favorite game of all time, because like that's a huge question that a lot of people always have to think hard about. Is like, oh, my favorite game, I'm not even sure.
Well, I'll answer that in reverse. I think I would have to say Destiny or Black Ops 3. I've always been like a big shooter enjoyer, and Black Ops 3 and Destiny, that was like high school for me. And I'd go to school, I would do all my homework while I was in school, and I'd come home and I'd grind these games for 12 hours a day. And yeah, I was absolutely addicted. To the point where I was just because I played enough, I got Master Prestige and Dark Matter before Christmas. I got the game on launch for Black Ops 3, and before Christmas, I was Master Prestige, and I had all the camos unlocked. So it was like maybe a month and a half. Like
you were slaying Christmas.
I was playing, yeah, no, and I got to the point where I was 4th on the leaderboards because I just played Nuketown 24/7. They like let it go for like 3 or 4 weeks, so it's just like you could just farm points, and I was just like, I will play this every day. And because I kept getting like the 2,000, 3,000 score per minute, they're like, okay, just stay up there. It got to the point though where I was like, I've played a lot of shooters. And now with streaming, I like exploring other stuff. And I realized that with streaming, as much as I enjoy the shooters, I think I enjoy like viewer engagement more. Like I enjoy both. It's tough for me. It's really tough because like I've started streaming Overwatch, as you said. I've started playing Valorant, and like I enjoy playing these games, and like I feel like I'm good at them, but I can't really interact with chat as much. So for me, it's just like, what game can I play that is a nice middle ground where I can do everything that I'm good at, but also talk to chat and be entertaining. So my favorite game to stream is a tough question, honestly. Pokemon's always been very good to me. It's a great way to just sort of, you have engaging stuff happen, and then you can just stop and you can just talk to chat for a little bit. It's not like a Valorant game where you have 30 seconds to buy, and then you're like, okay, I got to be on comms for 2 minutes now, and it's just a cycle like that. So, favorite game to stream, I would say Pokemon is one of my go-tos, but I'd have to think about that more because I really don't know. Favorite game to stream. But I would say favorite game of all time would definitely be something like Call of Duty, Black Ops 3, or Destiny.
I respect that answer a lot. I respect it a lot. I mean, me and Corbin, we love Call of Duty, so there's definitely
gets
no hate there.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But yeah, no. So before we continue or anything like that, we're just gonna go right to our sponsors real quick, guys, and we'll be right back to get more info on Kellen.
What's going on, Team Notorious? It's your boy Goldie today. We have a sponsorship video for you today. Shout out to Cosmic Dust, one of our awesome partners that we're partnered with. We love them over there. Check them out at cosmicdust.com. They also have a Discord server if you want to join up on that. But they have tons of products, all sorts of supplements that you can try. Anxiety relief, you can do digestive care, focus, sleep, multivitamins, energy. And they just released a new energy supplement, Notorious Punch. Dude, you got to try it. It is awesome. If you use code Notorious in all caps, you get 10% off. And if you use any of our content creators' codes, you also get some discounts. Pretty good. I like it. And we love those guys over at Cosmic Dust. Please go support them as much as you can. Goldie out.
All right, guys, we're back. We're back in the podcast, The Throne. Corbin actually has a question real quick that we were talking about on the break. So go ahead, Corbin, ask Kellen your question.
Kellen, real quick question. Video's not out yet, but in our most recent video that we recorded, it seemed like you just had some sort of inside knowledge about the answers. Was it like, I'm not gonna make accusations out here because I would never, but did you have inside sources on the answers? Because you had some crazy guesses. That
My
were
only two sources for that were TikTok and having a very bad attention span, because I just sit there and I be scrolling, and the amount of random shit you see on that. And like one of the questions, as you mentioned, we were in a Google Food video the other day, and it was asking about things that dogs have done. And I remember seeing very vividly that a dog had become mayor on TikTok. And I also feel like I saw something where a dog got arrested. So I was just like, things in that ballpark, right? Where I was just like, we have to ask those out of field questions. Because for the most part, if you're like, oh, does a dog need to go outside? Yes. You don't need to Google Feud that. Like that's very straightforward. So the questions that they're asking are probably a little out there. And as we found out, there was another question where it was like, oh, will my cat eat XYZ? I was like, you know what? Maybe they do eat plastic. I don't know. I'm surrounded by plastic. And I went with plastic, and you got to trust your gut. You really just got to manifest it. And I've really been of that mindset as of late, where it's just like, trust the flow of it. And it worked out. We smoked the owners. So I'm not upset about it.
No, you smoked us.
Damn. That's just big brain, in all honesty.
English
The
major. I
owners
know a
just
lot
have
of
small
words.
brain. Yeah, true.
Maybe you could have helped with the spelling.
Okay, yeah. Let me know.
Some of those names that we were having were just crazy.
They were struggling, yes.
But yeah, no, check out that video when it releases, guys, for sure.
It was a lot of fun. I've had a lot of good times with the TN group, but I think that was one of my favorite memories as of late, was Google Feud with the gang. So definitely check it out.
But yeah, no, definitely check out some of our videos and everything like that. And check out Kellen on Twitch for sure. Just KellanTK. I mean, literally, he streams a ton of stuff. I mean, my favorite times is when he's playing Melee, to be honest, because I mean, I love Smash. So I every Tuesday, dude, we'll be streaming pretty much every Tuesday. You have local tournaments that you do on Tuesdays sometimes too.
Exactly. Yeah. No, we are in the Philly region, so there's actually a lot of good Melee talent out here. So I like checking it out. And even like, there's your top 100 players, but the locals, I guess I'll say, people that are there all the time, like, because they're always playing these people, like, they're good too. So regardless of who you're playing, you're probably going to have a good match. And I like that a lot. The LAN experience is different. I play a lot of online games, but playing games on LAN and like an actual tournament environment, it's a good feeling. I enjoy it.
That's good. I like hearing that because, it makes me want to like try to maybe start grinding and learning the game more and more to try to play on LAN. But I mean, I'm in the middle of nowhere, so I can't really help that.
That's
but
fair. Yeah.
maybe
Without
one day.
a local
maybe
scene,
one
it's
day.
tough.
Yeah,
you never know.
Not
Maybe
really
you'll end up somewhere where there's a good scene and, start checking it out.
True.
The right time for everything.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, no. So we'll actually go into that right now because I always like hearing about it. You play a lot of Smash Melee, even a little bit of Ultimate here and there. Of course, in Melee, you could talk about who you play and everything like that. What your thoughts are about Melee, like how differential it is to other fighting games and stuff like that that you've played before or other Smash games, and why you took that next step to start like competing in things like that.
Well, so yeah, this goes a little far back. My friend and I have a mod. His name's Dimension in my channel, and we've probably been friends for about like 9, 10 years now. And I remember one of the first games. I think the first game we played together was Destiny, like we were talking about earlier. And eventually, he stopped getting on Destiny. I was like, dude, what's going on? Like, we need to grind these raids. And he's like, oh, I'm playing this new game. Oh, it's actually not a new game. You've probably heard it before, Melee. And back then, I called it Melee. I had no idea. Um, But I was a Destiny elitist, so I was like, oh, I'm never going to play that game. Like, you're playing a family game. Like, that's not a competition game. Like, that's stupid.
Yeah.
And, I probably had that mindset for like a year or two. And I moved on from Destiny. I was in college now, and I like wasn't playing games that much. And I would hang out with them and be like, oh, I'm still playing Melee. I'd be like, that's cool. And like, I watched a little bit of it. I'm like, okay, like top level's neat. And then it was probably like 2019, 2020 where I was hanging out with them one night. And I think I was watching, it was a Summit tournament. And I think it was Mango Zane with very good talent. And I was up on my feet with my friend just watching this game. Like, it was game 5, set 2, like absolute ridiculous nail biter. And I was like, okay, this game's kind of cool. And over the years, I kept watching it more. I met some people through the scene. I'd hang out with them, and people from the local would come out. And, I would be following people on Twitter. And, like, very slowly, my For You page was just all Melee stuff. So it was just, like, subliminal messaging, like, you will play Melee. And, like you said, I played Ultimate for a little while. And that's fun. But I definitely realized at a certain point that, like, the net play on Melee versus the Ultimate online servers are very different. So it's just like,
Oh yeah, they are.
I can't really play Ultimate anymore, but I was scared about Melee. Then Multiverses, about a year ago. Multiverses was a 2v2 platformer that came out. It was from the Warner Brothers company. It had like Batman, Superman, Tom and Jerry. And my buddy, Dimension, reached out to me and was like, hey, like, you should try and get a code for this. Like, you're a streamer, maybe you'll get this. Like, all of my Melee friends have signed up. Like, this is the next big thing. Like, get in on this, try. No one got a code except me. And I was like, okay, like, I guess I'm in this now. And they gave me 3 referral codes. So I gave one to my brother, like my actual brother. And then I gave 2 to my one friend, Dimension, and one of his buddies. And we started playing it. And it was like, wow, this game is crack. Like, we could sit here and play this game all day. And we were very quickly top 100 players. We were just dominating people. And that shuts down. It was an alpha for probably like 9 days. It was like, okay, nothing too bigger. But one of the guys I gave the code to, not Dimension, but his friend, was sponsoring Dimension at the time for Melee. He's like, hey guys, like, Evo has a big prize pool for Multiverses this year in Las Vegas. Like, let me fly you out. Go compete. And we're like, okay, like, we're top 100 players. Let's give it a shot. And I had never been in any sort of like tournament setting ever. Like, no idea what a tournament venue was like. And it was the first time I was experiencing it was in Las Vegas. So we fly out and we go to bed night. And the first day comes around. And it was very cool walking to the venue because I was like in Las Vegas. And, Las Vegas has a very interesting environment. And you could tell, like, there's drunk people everywhere. People are stumbling around, gambling. And eventually, like, we were just walking through this massive, like, all the buildings connected. It was just like a long tunnel of all these different casinos, shops, and everything. And like, we made it about halfway, and then you heard people talking about like frame data. It wasn't people talking about like gambling. It was just like, oh, like this hit's done. And you get closer and closer, and then you see like the cosplays and stuff. And I was like, this is kind of cool. And that whole first day, we were there for like 5 hours, and we played someone round 1. It was supposed to be like they got 5th at the end. And we were seated for 185th. We were supposed to lose very quickly. But we made it a game 3 with those guys, and they were like, holy crap, like let's talk about like how we can be better. And I think that helped us out tremendously. We had a good day 1. We made it to day 2, and we ended up getting 17th out of 100, or instead of 185th, we got 17th. And I was like, wow, that's awesome. That's cool. So I played Multiverses for a while, and eventually that shut down. And this last like Christmas, the holiday season, I was talking about how like I was a Melee hater at first, and I kept talking to him, and it slowly grew on me. It dawned on me that like I've done so many different things throughout my life, and this some kid's just been grinding Melee for 7 years, and he's so happy, and the game's alive, and this scene is good, and like all of these games that I've invested time in have just come and gone, but Melee's forever. And I was like, you know what? Time to start playing Melee. I'll cave. Like,
Yeah.
I guess it's never going away, and I have developed this huge respect for the fighting game scene and everything through multiverses. So I was like, I think I can absolutely approach this game with a different mindset, and I've had a lot of fun, and that's why I've started going to like these locals and stuff, because it's all kind of just come together in Melee, and it's been a great experience.
It's amazing.
Yeah, no, it's
That's amazing.
definitely awesome too. That game has been out since 2001 when the GameCube came out, and it is still vibing.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think of, and you know, I so just last year is when I started getting into like competitive Smash. I always thought it was a family game as well, like a family fighter game. I knew like Tekken and Street Fighter; those were all like they had like tournaments and stuff like that. But I never knew like the Smash scene was like that. Like, and I never knew Melee movement was even like that. Because when I first got Melee, it was right before the Wii came out, and I was just like playing it. I didn't even get all the characters. I don't even think. I think I
Wow.
literally
Yeah.
was just playing it. And then Brawl came out, and I mean, if I would say there's a top 3 game that I've played like ever, like Brawl would be up there. Like I know a lot of the people hated Brawl because of the slip, like you could slip and all
There's a lot
that.
of
It
nostalgia
wasn't as
value.
fast. Yeah, but it was like nostalgic and like
Yeah,
I
Subspace
love
Emissary, the single
Subspace.
player
Yeah,
mode. Yeah, that
yep, I
hits.
loved the hell out of it. So I just was like a huge Brawl guy, and I was like super in love with Smash just for the casual stuff. But
Mhm.
last year, like I got into it because my buddies at work were like playing it, and like they were talking like, like, oh yeah, like I down tilted you into Nair and like hit you with this move and combo, and I was just like, what the hell are you guys saying? Like I didn't know, and then they were like, dude, like you got to try to play this, and I was like, I haven't played in years, dude. I would suck, and I did. I sucked. I got
Yeah.
destroyed. But then I like bought the game, slowly grinded, and then I was like, all right, you know what?
I could do this.
I'm gonna start learning. Yeah,
There you
that's what
go.
got me into the scene. So whenever we like approached you, I was like high horse end on you. I was like, dude, Kellen plays Melee. Like
We
I'm
gotta
all
get
in.
him in here.
Like
Yeah.
we got to get him in. I
I
love it.
appreciate that.
So but yeah, no, I was like, good personality, and you play like one of my favorite games, dude. It's a done deal. I can't help it. You got to be a part of TN. So,
Here we
but
are.
yeah, no. Do you have any other questions, Corbin? Before I ask my last 2 questions.
Nope.
All right,
We're
cool.
doing
So
such a
I
good
got
job
2 more
talking.
questions for you. I got 2 more questions for you. One's gonna be like a funny one. I always end like the Throne podcast with a funny ass question. It's like a goofy one that like is like more of a personality thing. But then the first one's more of like a serious one, and it's like, so the question is, what would you like to improve yourself, like mentally? Like, what would you do to improve yourself mentally in the next couple of years? Like, I mean, life it happens, stuff happens all the time. You can't always be like that perfect self, but like if you were to get to that point where you're at the most high end, like what are you trying to improve in the next couple years, like mentally?
I actually think about this all the time because I have been on a big, improvement arc. And I'd like to think, I've made a lot of good mental progress. But where I am now, more than anything, I mean, I'll show you guys. Cup, 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 cup. Like, take care of myself, clean up a little
Yeah.
bit. Like, and it's like the little things that all add up, as of late, taking cold showers, brushing and flossing my teeth twice a day. Like, the little things like that, make my bed. I gotta go do that laundry. You're talking about the laundry sitting in the corner. I gotta do that laundry. So it's like start making those decisions to like take care of myself. And it's not that I'm not taking
Mhm.
care of myself, but I'm starting to understand why my mom's like, oh, we don't want to live in a pigsty. I'm like, it's not that dirty. It was like, well, you can still clean up a little bit, and you can still make it nice.
Yeah.
And I definitely can recognize like how much those things help with like the mental. And I want to start looking into like journaling and stuff because I've been very big into like the gym progress as of late. So journaling alongside keeping track of like my gym progress and eating healthier. Like I said, it's really, I think it comes back to just taking care of myself and, you know, prioritizing the good things, you know, drinking less, stuff like that, going out to the bars less. As fun as it is, you know, and like there's no problem with it. Like that's part of the human experience. Go be social, go have fun. Like I don't want to like limit myself from that, but I also don't want to like splurge, you know. I was in college. I had my fun, and I've had a great opportunity to like explore streaming and stuff. But I want to get some good financial security. You know, I want to maybe be moving out on my own soon. Like, I want to have that independency, and part of that is the little things. And I think I've neglected some of the little things for a while, and I'm at the point where I really want to start taking care of that.
I like that. That's a really good answer. I like that a lot. But now, from the serious end to like now, we can like sorry for the serious question. Now I got the little goofy question. But yeah, so this one I had to write this one down because it's kind of a long and funny one. So the reason why I picked this character, so if you were fighting Kirby in like real life, the reason why I picked that is because Sakurai, like he's the creator of Smash Bros. He loves Kirby. So if you were fighting Kirby in real life, what ultimate and or melee character would you become to beat him, and why do you choose that character? You can even choose like one from ultimate and one from melee if you would like, but that's like one of my like fun questions where it's like, if you were to become like just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna spawn in as Peach. I don't know, just throwing one out because that's my melee main is Peach. So like if you were throwing Peach out, like yeah, like Corey actually started playing Ultimate with me, and he likes Peach and Zelda. So he likes Daisy and Zelda. So
and
Echo
Daisy.
Fighters.
Yeah, I see.
But yeah, if you were to choose one from Ultimate, Melee, you could even do like I mean, Ultimate has everybody, so like that's why I chose Ultimate. But I know you play a lot more Melee. But if you were to choose one character to become, just like in real life, to fight Kirby, who would you choose?
Well, I have two different mains in the two different games. In Melee, I play Fox. I sold my soul, and I'm just grinding his best character because it's fun, and I gotta do it. Ultimate, I enjoy having a nice, silly little time, and I just run around as King K. Rool. I don't know what it is about him, but just a big alligator with a gun. Yeah, I don't know. It tickles my brain, and I have a good time with it. So I gotta go with King K. Rool, I think. And I've been having this dilemma as of late, where it's like I want to play Melee and I want to be silly, but like it's such a serious game. But then I go play Ultimate, and like, wow, this isn't as good as Melee. But I think I kind of prefer like the silly low tier characters, and I would have to go with King K. Rool and just suck him off the stage and shoot him back into it, right?
I like that.
Some cheese
I like
that
a lot.
because that's what Kirby players.
That's actually funny because Kirby players low key do deserve that because they be trying to like get you off stage by inhaling
exactly
you.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that shit's annoying. I hate that. That's why I mean, I play characters with decent recovery, but when I don't, I'm just like, oh shit.
Well, there you go, King K. Rool. He just fucking backpacks his way back up, and he's fine.
True.
Never dies.
Yeah, you'll be perfect. You'll literally never die.
Yeah, I had that answer unlocked. Don't worry, King K. Rool. King K. Rool. You gotta every time I get a kill with him in tournament, I scream that at the top of my lungs because I'm usually playing with like friends and stuff, and it's a funny joke that like King K. Rool is playing well, but sometimes I worry because it's just like I made it to like losers finals and I was still doing that, and I was like, I think they're kind of like they care now, and I'm still in silly goofy mode, like. And I was talking about this with one of my friends the other day. It was the Dimension guy that I've mentioned before. And he's like, you talk a lot while you play in tournament sets. And I was like, I stream all the time. So like, I've just conditioned myself to just always be talking while I'm playing games. Like I'm just trying to entertain people and I'm having a good time and entertain myself. So, when I'm doing stuff like that, like I don't even think about it. But I'm like, yeah, maybe I don't just like, King K. Rool, like this hit people with the absolute cheese. And yeah, I don't know. I definitely feel like I made some people frustrated last time I was there, but what are you gonna do?
Who cares?
Yeah, no. What are you?
Yeah, exactly. It's just not much you can do. It's a tournament at the end of the day.
Just get better, dude. That's what I say. But no, that's actually a really good answer. I like that answer a lot. I know. I really, in all honesty, I thought you were gonna choose Fox because he has some. I mean, he's just broken in Melee and Ultimate and every Smash game really. But yeah, no, I mean, King K. Rool. He is sick. I actually like King K. Rool's moves. He is a big funny alligator. And when my buddy will play like you know, like some of my friends, they're not as good. Some of them are like really good. When I'm playing like the not as good friends, like I'll like pick randos sometimes and just like go at it just to like get better with other characters. And when K roll comes up, I just get so excited. I'm just like, K roll, I don't know why. I just like throwing his crown and back airing people and spiking them and shit.
As you should.
I like King K roll. He's pretty cool. But yeah, no, that's a really good answer. So I like that. Thank you.
I got you.
But yeah, no. Anything else from either of you guys for to finish up the podcast? You guys have anything?
Make sure you check out our sponsors, Custom Controllers, AIO, and Cosmic Dust, guys. They came out with that new Team Notorious juice.
Yes.
Please go buy it. Go support us. Go support them. It's a local, not local, but a new upcoming energy supplement organization. Go check all of them out. It'd be time well spent.
Yes. Thank you.
Of
and
course.
yeah, be sure to go follow Kellen on Twitch. Go give him a sub, dude. I mean, if you got Amazon Prime, that's a free Twitch Prime sub, dude.
$5 out of Jeff Bezos' pocket once a month, free.
True.
And
yeah. $5 is, I mean, that's not even a penny for him, to be honest. That's
for sure.
I mean, dude, that dude makes too much money. But getting off track. Thank you guys for watching the Tone Podcast. Shout out to Kellen. Thank you for taking time out of your day to come and join us. I mean, down the road, you're going to be a part of TM. We're going to, fly you out to some locals, and me and you are just going to go run shit on Melee. I'm going to get really good. So,
awesome.
Yeah, thank you for stopping by, man. Corbin, of course, thank you for being my duo. You're always my duo. Appreciate you. And everybody, please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit that bell, man. Get notified whenever we post some more Throne podcasts and other videos like the Google Food or Google Feud game night video.
Yeah, it is a triangle.
So, yeah. So, thank you guys for watching, and peace out.